What is going on, everybody? Back at you again with this new edition in this episode of this Move the Chains podcast with your man and your host, Sam McIntyre. I hope we're doing well tonight on this hump day, Wednesday night, wacky Wednesday, getting close to Friday. Paydays this week, I can't wait. So like I always do on here every week, I always wait a couple days after the Raider game to give my post-game reaction. I heard a rumor today about the Jets, maybe Rex Ryan, ground and pound, baby, back in the Big Apple. We'll see about that. I don't know if that rumor has a lot of legs, but I'm hearing some stuff. And then I also want to dive into the Texans right now. We're kind of reeling a little bit. I know they're winning that AFC South, but there's some question marks going forward, and they should, I think, maybe make a move. So my first reaction, so I always do the post game for the Raiders. Why are we not fired Luke Getsy yet? What are we doing? And then I just got on Instagram, and I'm hearing, well, we're going to keep him the rest of the year. Hello? What are we watching? You're not great in short yardage. You're not doing anything to enhance this team. You have players on offense. Your offensive line's okay. Now, I get the quarterback, and I've said this before, is a shit show. I get all that. But Antonio Pierce, I like you a lot, dude. I liked you last year. But you rattled that cage, and I don't think you should have done that. And again, I get it. It was our Super Bowl, and I got it. I'll cherish any Raider win against Kansas City or those dirty donkeys that I'll have. But that game was there for the fucking taking Sunday. It was there. Mahomes played like shit. But it comes back to this, and the Raiders have done this for my whole time I've been watching, and I love you, but goddamn it, you drive me crazy. Okay? You had that game. And you didn't deliver. You got down to 4th and goal at the 1 fucking yard line, and what do? We're going to throw. Yep, we're going to go shotgun. It's a great idea. Are you a douche? What are you doing? What are we doing? Put fucking Zeus White in there and fucking pound that motherfucker in there. I don't get the play calling. And Luke Getsy is trash. He's garbage. I mean, what more do I need to watch in this ineptitude of offense? I mean, at least the Jets have more players on offense to work. But I can't even comprehend how bad this offense is for the Raiders. I mean, it is one of the worst I've ever fucking seen. And it's cost us games. The last 2 weeks, you've had 2 winnable games. The Rams and the Chiefs in your home turf. And you can't come through because Getsy is still your fucking offensive coordinator. It's a joke. I'm ashamed. And so is every Raider fan that I know. And I'm beyond disgusted, man. So, hey, Mel Kiper, I got my phone ready. Hello, Mel Kiper. Who we need? Yep, 2 phones. I got Kevin Gates on my line. Okay. What are we doing? So, again, this defense, I've never been proud of a Raider defense in my lifetime than this one I'm watching right now with Max Crosby, Robert Spillane, and all those boys. And I'll tell you what, it'd be a lot different if Christian Wilkins was healthy. I get all that. But at the end of the day, this comes down to play calling. When it gets down to it, the nut-cutting time, and you do not have it, Raiders, you need a new, creative, offensive mind that gets back to that running scheme that made Zeus White effective last year in the game at Christmas in Kansas City. So you need to do that. You need to change this scheme back, and you need to get this offense right. And you know what, Getsy? Fuck you. You are awful. You're a joke. I can't stand watching this. I mean, what are we doing? So the other thing that I wanted to point out, and I've been reading a lot of mocks lately. I know it's a long way away, but I get a little excited. I admit it. I'm an excitable kid. I'm Energizer Bunny. But the more I sit back with Shador, I go, I don't hate it. Now, is he got a lot of problems? No question. I've been on this for a while. He's not my kind of guy. And they have been winning lately. And it's been a little bit more quieter. Shador doing all of his bullshit. But I need to see him take an L once. Because then if those habits creep up again, then I'm going to go, I'm out. But if they don't, and he's learned his lesson, he's mature like an adult, which we need to do, which most people in America don't anymore, that's your problem, then there you go. But I'll say this to Mark Davis. Mark, you got a job for me, brother. You need to, when Tom Brady talks, and I've heard some rumors, they're going to give him more say in the personnel department and maybe in some decisions. Thank you. Maybe that might help get us out of this fucking rut we've been in. God help us. Okay? If you do that, there's two words you got to do, Mark. Just shut up and just stay out of the way. Because whatever you've done, and I think you've listened to the wrong people, that's what I've been told in that organization, in terms of what you need to do, you just get this thing right and get this train on the tracks and get it back to a winning, consistent team that I've seen in the past. The early 2000s, when WWE was king, and I loved it. And then you also got to get back to some of those early 2010 teams that were 8-8, and you saw improvement. Now, they were the same. They had a bunch of penalties, the Raiders. But you saw a little bit of that. So, big game this week in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Now, Bengals are kind of iffy. But I don't think we're winning a game from here on out. I'll still watch every game, and I'll give my post-game reactions, but I'm out, man. This is a bad football team. And it starts with the head coach that needs to have some kahunas and balls and fire Lou Getsy because, first of all, he ain't it. So anyways, I'm with you on that. We got to get back to playing Raider football. This is just embarrassing. We got to do that. So, sorry, I'm sweating a little bit. I was a little cold. So, here's my take on. So, I heard a rumor this morning. I know the Jets are just a mess. Oh, I wanted to get to the Raiders. So, I was at the gym tonight, and I was doing my curls for the girls. I was getting big, trying to. And I had this thought in my head, and you guys can leave comments if you want about if they should do this or not. The Raiders bringing Ryan Tannehill. Because I'm watching tonight, and they had an NFL throwback game. I think it was the Bengals in Miami game. It was 2013. This is when Cameron Wake was a stud, and he was a great player. And he had the game-winning safety walk-off, which is rare in the NFL, especially in overtime and that stuff. I sat in my head, and I'm going, Tannehill will give the Raiders something credible for a little bit. Now, will they win games? I'm not sure. But my thought was, bring him in. He gives you some mobility. Now, is he the athlete that he was? No, he's older. I get it. And it's kind of like the Colts putting Band-Aids on guys. But I think, bring it Tannehill. Why not? At this point with me, with the Raiders quarterback thing, I'm like, fuck it. Why not? Because I know we're going to get a top pick anyways. We're probably going to get Shador. Probably one of these cats because Brady's got the control. He's going to have a say in it, which thank God he does. And Mark, shut up. Don't talk. Let Brady say something. Okay? You made some bad decisions. It's time for somebody now to make control and take control of this organization, get it back to those winning ways. But I just think that's what the Raiders should do. So, outside of my Raider take, I also want to talk about, I heard a rumor today, I was getting into that, was that the Jets might bring back Rex Ryan. And my take is timeout. So Rex Ryan, last time he coached was 2015. Yeah. No. 2016. Okay. So, it's been a while for Rex Ryan, and I don't think it ended well in New York. I know he had those 2 AFC Championship game runs, but outside of that, it's been a bunch of meh. I know he had Mark Sanchez, but I think Rex wore himself out. You know, he's kind of, he's Andrew Dice Clay. You know, he's just not, he's a shtick. You know. Hickory dickory dock, how you doing there? It's not going to last. But maybe Rex has turned the corner. I don't know. But for me, from a standpoint of, okay, what can Rex Ryan bring to the Jets? He's a defensive guy. They have a decent defense. Maybe it works. But again, I think if you bring him in, it's not the craziest idea. But it's kind of like the retread thing. And I don't know what the Jets do from here. But they're a mess. And they've been this way for a long time. So I don't know. We'll see, man. But I wouldn't rule it out, the Rex Ryan. Now, I don't know if that rumor's got a lot of legs to it and a lot of momentum. But I wouldn't be shocked if Rex Ryan's back in a gangrene Jet uniform as a coach, not a player, obviously. So my last thing I want to talk about on here tonight, it's great having you guys on, is the Texans are kind of in some trouble right now. Nico Collins, their stud receiver, big body guy from Michigan. He's a beast. Shout out to Derek Solmonson. I know you're watching, brother. He's a Michigan Wolverine for you. And he's had a really hell of a career start of it. And it's sad that he got hurt in that Buffalo game when he had that big touchdown early and then obviously was hurt. And then he obviously was out the game. And then I didn't know it was going to be later the whole year. But then my brother told me a couple nights ago that Stefon Diggs is out for the year now. And I got that this morning on Facebook when I was kind of scrolling during my lunch. And I saw Adam Schefter put it on Facebook. So my takeaways are from that is Houston's got some troubles. They got some Texas-sized troubles. Now, C.J. Stroud's good enough to me, and he's shown it in this little sprink of time, that he's it. Now, they peppered him a lot lately. Now, I don't know. Maybe their offensive line's got some injuries. I don't know. But he's been hit a lot, and he's been sacked a lot. That Green Bay game was evident of that, and then the Minnesota game up in Minnesota when they played that Brian Flores cover zero attack-style defense. So, can the Texans bring in Garrett Wilson? Highly unlikely, but I would not be shocked if they did that. You know, Houston, these GMs like to talk. You know, they're like women, like Chad Cathy. Okay? So maybe the Jets bring in Wilson. It's not a bad idea, but I just feel like you're only going to have Adams for a year. So what's the point of you got an older receiving core, but not a lot of youth? So if I'm the Jets, I keep Garrett Wilson, and I'd bring him in if I'm the Texans because he pairs him up with C.J. Stroud back to the Ohio State days. And I always remember that iconic photo where it was C.J. Stroud and the 4 receivers, which was loaded at that time. So maybe we'll see. I don't know. I still think Houston's going to win this division going away. It's kind of up in the air right now. Jacksonville's a mess. Tennessee, draft time. They got to do some stuff. They got some players I like, but they're close to being a porta potty stinking like shit. Okay, you got to do something. Not Carolina bad, but you're getting up there. Okay? Despite some players that I like. And I think Brian Callahan and Bill will get that thing figured out. So, Houston's going to go win this away. I think that tomorrow night, I'll give my picks tomorrow and against the spread. I know a lot of people have been liking that segment lately. I'm going to keep doing that. Shout out to Phil Sexton for letting me have that. Give me that recommendation. So, like I said, Houston's going to be fine. They should win tomorrow. I don't know easily, but we'll see the spread. I'll look at it tomorrow morning when I get up. And then I'll make my video tomorrow night. So, that's all I wanted to get on here tonight for you guys. Like I always say, hit the like, subscribe, share button. And more videos will come out. And talk to you guys soon.